All right, buddy. Hopefully this is going to be the last one. We're going to finish up our book. With a giant splash, the friends plunged into the water, but it wasn't long before the submarine began to flood. The friends only had one choice. They jumped on top of Emmett's double-decker couch and floated to safety. Emmett couldn't believe it. His invention had saved them. Perhaps he did have what it took to be the special after all. See? They're on the double-decker couch. Another master builder named Metalbeard came to rescue them on his pirate ship. "Avast, mateys!" he called. Dry and safe on board, Emmett realized it was up to him to come up with a plan to stop Lord Business. He might not feel like the special, but the master builders were counting on him. Do you remember Ironbeard? There's Wild Style. There they are. What's the last thing Lord Business expects master builders will do? His friends shrugged. They had no idea. "It's follow the instructions," Emmett cried. Following Emmett's instructions, the heroes built a spaceship just like the ones Lord Business's robots used. Inside it, they were able to sneak into Lord Business's evil office tower. Emmett and Wildstyle crept to the Craggle room while the others went to shut off the security system. Just outside, Emmett paused. There was something he wanted Wildstyle to know. "That night in the city," he said, "when you thought I was the special, that was the first time anyone had ever really told me that. It made me want to do everything I could to be the guy you were talking about." Wildstyle was touched. Emmett's words meant a lot to her. "Good luck, Emmett," she said. A moment later, the laser beam protecting the Craggle dropped. The others had done it. The security field was down. But just as Emmett was about to place the piece of resistance on top of the weapon, he saw something terrible. Bad Cop was right behind Wildstyle. Lord Business laughed maniacally as he marched into the room. His robots had captured the other master builders, too. Their mission was a failure. Lord Business removed the piece of resistance from Emmett's back and threw it out the window. Without the piece of resistance, there was no way to stop the Craggle now. Lord Business tied Emmett to a battery linked to an explosive device. It was set to destroy the tower and all the master builders captured in it. "Well, I guess there's only one thing left to do," Lord Business said.
"Release the Craggle!"
Release the Craggle. Lord Business rose into the air in his flying machine, along with the Craggle in a blinding flash. He zoomed off, prepared to glue the world together. As the explosive device timer ticked down, Emmett looked at his friends. He couldn't believe this was the end. And then all at once Emmett realized what he needed to do. It wasn't the best idea he ever had, but it was the most important. Using all his strength, Emmett wiggled over to the window along with the battery tied to his back and jumped out. The wires snapped, deactivating the device. There he is, jumping out the window. Instantly, the computer shut down and the master builders were freed. But Emmett was gone. Wildstyle was heartbroken.
"Arr,"
said Metalbeard sadly. "If only there were more people in the world like he." Wildstyle looked at the monitor showing Lord Businesses freezing everyone in Bricksburg. Suddenly she gasped. "Maybe there are." Using Lord Business's own television cameras, the master builders sent a message to everyone in all the realms. Wildstyle told them about Emmett and his sacrifice. "Now we have to finish what he started by making whatever weird thing pops into our heads," she said. "We need to fight back against President Business's plans to freeze us." See, there's Wildstyle on the television screen talking to everybody. Meanwhile, Emmett fell and fell and fell and fell. For a while, he thought he was going to fall forever. When he finally landed, something was not right. The world around him didn't look normal, and he couldn't move. Suddenly, a little boy named Finn picked him up. Finn told Emmett that his father was trying to glue all the Lego pieces, Emmett's world, together, but the boy didn't want that to happen. He handed Emmett the piece of resistance. It was the cap to the glue tube. It's up to you now, Emmett, he said. There's Emmett falling, and then when he's on the ground. Emmett crash-landed back in Bricksburg, and a huge smile broke over his face. He could see how to build awesome things without following the instructions for the first time, just like a master builder. In the blink of an eye, Emmett built a super machine and flew to Lord Business's Cragalizer. "You're too late, Brickowski," Lord Business yelled. Emmett shook his head. "I'm going to unleash my secret weapon. Here it comes." There's Lord Business on his shoes. Remember his big shoes? And there's Emmett with the piece of resistance. Emmett held out his hand. "It's called the power of the special. It's my hand. I want you to take it." Emmett realized that just like the boy's father, Lord Business wanted to be in control. But deep down, what he really wanted was to feel special. "You don't have to be the bad guy," Emmett said. "Look at all these things that people built. You might see a mess. What I see are people inspired by one another and by you, because you are the special, and so is everyone." Lord Business was speechless. No one had ever said that to him before. It made him feel different, changed. "Thank you." Emmett had convinced Lord Business to stop gluing everything together and to place the piece of resistance on top of the Craggle. Emmett had saved the world. Remember when he was talking to him? Down below, the people cheered. Emmett's friends were overjoyed to see he was alive, especially Wildstyle. "Emmett," she cried, running up to hug him. "You did it!" Emmett grinned. He had done it, but certainly not alone. If it hadn't been for his friends and the little boy named Finn, he couldn't have done any of it. This had turned out to be the most incredible, most extraordinary, most exciting day of Emmett's life. And as he watched the people of Bricksburg cheering and saw all of the amazing things they had built without following the instructions, he had a feeling that there were many more awesome days ahead. And there's all the people. All right, bud. Sweet dreams, and I love you. Good night.